You guys, you've all, I presume, read the character backstory and are on board with the idea of going to Quebec City from Ohio in order to steal a 600-pound stone noggin. I think someone in the last game mentioned said that their write-up failed to mention just how awkward and heavy this thing is, but it is 600 pounds of rock, which is basically a 2-foot diameter boulder.
Yeah, mine did not actually make it clear that it was that big, although awkward sort of seemed to come with rock carved into a head.
Yeah, it's immense. Well, I mean, it's not as big as those like Aztec Olmec multi-ton Easter Island-sized heads, you know. One of those you're not stealing without a truck, and not and bigger than Kim's truck. But so starting out, I'm gonna assume you all came in multiple vehicles. Kim, who's playing Kim? Okay, so Kim, it is illegal to own a handgun in Canada unless you have extensive licenses, which you lack. It is illegal to own a short-barreled assault-style rifle like your AR-10, without elaborate licenses that are difficult to obtain, even if you're a Canadian native. You do not have the 2 or 3 months it would take to get the permits required to bring even a hunting rifle over the border. I mean, you guys aren't on a tight deadline, but waiting 2 or 3 months for a gun you don't want to use. So the question is, if you wanted to smuggle those over the border, I would assume you could do so by taking them apart and hiding the pieces in the casings of your computers. But that, raises the question, do you want to? And I think you're muted. No? Try again.
How's this?
Much better.
Yeah. It's a headphone thing, driver thing, something or other. Anyway, I'll remove them, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, so of these firearms, potentially in that case, no AR-10, that seems a bit excessive. Maybe the 38 if it can be disassembled properly to be used, but I don't have like a wide gun knowledge myself. So
I'd assume Kim can do it.
Okay. What about the possibility of fake permits ahead of time? Not.
You don't really have forgery skills.
Yeah.
And it would take a lot, and you would have to have someone you trust.
Yeah, and I assume quite a bit too of computer finesse to get it anywhere in some sort of registered database. So
yeah,
okay.
That part you could possibly attempt, but yeah, just like tucking stuff under the wheel well and praying seems to be a lot simpler.
Let's go with that. So do the Glock and the 38 and keep it at that, just for good measure, but with the hope they're not necessary.
Sure, better to have it and not need it than need it and not have
yes.
it, as they say. So the 5 of you have an uneventful and probably pretty lovely drive up to Quebec City during the late spring of 2017. And when you arrive outside, I'm assuming you guys shack out at an Airbnb, what the players in the previous session called the Airbnb. Right. And Jesse, doing stuff?
Yeah, I'm doing the thing.
Okay, so you arrive. Jesse goes out in the backyard and is doing a thing with some stuff.
He does this everywhere we go. There's like some sort of thing he does, but he's picky about Airbnbs with backyards.
Yeah, so he's burying something, and then at the end of the trip, digs it up and washes it off. As you do. Yeah. Compared to Christianity's symbolic cannibalism, this really seems fairly benign. So that's all going on. About what time of day do y'all figure it is when you get to the outside of le Musée de la Civilisation Américaine?
2 p.m.
Okay, so early mid-afternoon. Let me set the scene. I haven't been to Quebec, but apparently there is this beautiful green space called Battlefield Park, where some battle took place. And you've got this large green area, which seems to be analogous to Central Park in New York City, where it's the big public green space. And it is dotted here and there with museums and public buildings, the occasional monument, and then just a lot of open greenery. The Musée de la Civilisation Américaine, aka the Civ, is to the south end of that. So you can see green stuff off to its left and more touristy restaurants, coffee shops, and the like to the right. Now, Battlefield Park is on top of a cliff. It's not a completely sheer like Dover cliff. It's at about this angle. What would that be? About 80 degrees. It's a 55-meter cliff, so quite long and treed. It's dotted all along its surface with assorted pines and I think oaks, and then scrub brush in between it. So theoretically, you could climb up that, but it would be a big job of work. Climbing 80 feet on this incline, that's probably beyond Kim's abilities at the moment. The rest of you, iffy. I mean, probably Cloissoné with her youthful endurance and exuberance would think, oh yeah, I could scramble up to the top of that. And, and she might be right as long as she didn't lose her footing, fall, and snap an ankle. But you guys have got the map of the museum, right? Let me pull that up and screen share it. Oop. Host disabled attendee screen sharing. Oh man, we were doing that last time. All right. Well, if you put that file open and look at it, there is the terrace. So that's a terrace. And that looks out over the cliff. It goes right up to the edge. There's a little 4-foot brick wall and then the plunge. To the right there of Exposition Spatiale, there's parking lot that has a chain link fence and another low stone wall to basically keep people from driving their cars over the edge of the cliff. But you could get from the parking lot to the terrace, maybe, possibly. There's a big glass-fronted double door where it says entrée. That's the entryway through which the public, enters. And it looks like there are emergency exits over in Exposition Spatiale, and then over to the left, you see the bathrooms there. There's another emergency exit outside of those. The jagged back wall going to the terrace is made of tempered tinted glass. So you can see out of it, but not probably not through a camera very well. But it's got 2 sliding glass doors. All right. And so you've, gotten your look from the outside. What is the plan for casing the joints?
Greg, can I just ask a quick question? Is Mara with us, or is it just the 5 of us?
It's just the 5 of you.
Okay.
Yeah, Mara does not fancy herself a housebreaker. It's fine for you.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm fancy at it particularly.
Well, I'm just a simple country burglar, but it seems to me.
Oh, screw the country. I'm from Boston.
So, assuming that we are here at midday.
Yeah, 2 o'clock.
Yeah, 2 o'clock. This is a place that tourists would certainly enter, walk around, and look at everything.
Mm-hmm.
It seems that the most direct route would be the easiest one, would it not?
Yep.
Around?
And Jesse strongly encouraged, like, if we had time, which I imagine we did, stopping off somewhere touristy and buying a bunch of cheap tourist shirts. Like, we want to look like every other stupid American who drops by this place. I know.
Okay.
You don't have to. I'm not saying you have to. We got free will here.
No, you're right. The clothes make the woman. So if we want to look like tourists, we have to put on the baseball caps.
Yep.
Whatever.
Poor Cloissoné.
Oh,
All right.
question.
Are you going to go in one big clump, or are you going to go in 2s and 3s? Yeah. Jesse's like.
Oh, there we go. Jesse's pleased as punch.
So I've got a fair bit of comm gear, radios and such. Do I have anything that is easy enough for everybody so we can split up at least? And
Oh,
keep in
yeah.
touch?
100%. I mean, most people's phones could do that. So.
Sure. Yeah, I'm thinking way too early for that.
But yeah, you've got, scrambled, coded, dedicated comms gear with the little earpieces and throat mics.
I mean,
did we lose someone? I think we
Oh,
lost Chris.
yes.
All right, so she's going in last.
Huh.
We found our Patsy.
Ouch. Yeah, don't say that in front of her mom.
Oh, point.
Also, she's my ride. So I'm driving.
She's not just my daughter; she's my ride.
Yeah.
Man.
So I'll do my best to touristy up the guys. Horrible bright shirts, glasses, hats, anything to kind of obscure identity, because I'm sure after this place gets robbed, they might look over the footage to see if there's any suspicious types casing the place.
Yeah, give me a seamstress roll.
Will do.
Nothing too bad will come out if it fails, but it'll be fun if it's a huge success. We'll see.
No, that's a 69, unfortunately. So that's a simple failure.
Yeah, you all look pretty goony. And as you're, heading in, as you enter, and what are the teams?
I would say Jesse and I will go together.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Storm power flickered.
Ooh.
No worries.
I'll go with Cloissoné.
All right, Mom.
I can go on my own. I might prefer to go with Jesse and the doc if
they'll have you.
No, I think we can do a 3-person.
Also, if I can stow one of my better laptops with me, just bring in a bag and.
Sure.
Is Kim in a wheelchair, or what's
I have
Kim's legs?
So it's probably actually better for the casing period to stay in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kim is not wheelchair bound, but he cannot walk for long distances without his legs becoming exhausted. There was some atrophy that set in after his injury.
Yeah.
And, he can walk a mile,
Yes.
but that's about his limit.
That's great because
That's
when the 200-pound head is in the wheelchair, he's going to need to hoof it.
Oh, that wheelchair cannot take 600 pounds.
Oh, 600
It's-
pounds.
It is not rated for 600.
All right.
You're gonna need some kind, but you could get a dolly or some kind of hand truck.
Mm.
But yeah, that's just gonna go straight through the wheelchair.
Right.
Need that, maybe. But also, if things go pear-shaped and, better not to be exhausted.
Yes.
All right, so you're
So-
wheeling him around. Where are you gonna go, and which team goes in first?
I'm happy to go in first. What I kind of want to do is follow the flow of traffic more than anything else.
All right.
Like human beings generally turn right, so let's turn right. That conveniently takes us. We'll spend a little while in that first room, move on into this. Sorry, the 20e siècle,
20th century.
20th century. Who
So-
doesn't like the 20th century? I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a small museum. This is not a MoMA. This is a small regional one-story focused history museum. It pretty much looks like it was built in 1989 and has been very well maintained since then. But it doesn't have like holograms and interactive displays, and it's just a lot of historical artifacts,
All right.
plaques, the occasional diorama, and docents to explain stuff to you.
Cool. That's fine. So most of my attention is on sort of clocking the security. Like,
Yeah,
are there guards? How
we'll
many
get to
guards,
that.
Cameras. Okay, cool.
There are guards. The guards are armed.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, it looks like it's a private company. They are all dressed alike in sort of UPS brown slacks and polo shirts. And they have little name tags that say, the company name. I haven't made one up. Probably will for the printed version. And, their name.
Logo on the name tags?
What?
Is there
Yeah,
like a
there's-
logo on the name tags? All
There's
right.
a little logo, so you'll be able to look up details about this security firm. Not that security firms tend to be super generous with operational detail on their websites, but you could be surprised.
You never know when you're going to need to forge a name tag. It's one of my sayings.
Yeah. How closely do these security guards look like they're paying attention?
Not like hawk-eyed, alert, talking into their cuffs like the Secret Service, but not standing around picking their noses and obviously daydreaming. I would say a standard traffic guard level of alertness. What you would expect. Not unusually alert, not unusually slovenly.
Yeah, this place ain't the Louvre.
So Karen and Cloissoné, are you guys going to go in and go left?
Yeah, let's wander around, see what incredible costumes they have in this cultural museum.
Mesoamerique is kind of their showpiece because they've got gold. So this has one security guard just standing there with his hands behind his back looking comfortable. And there's not like immense gold statues, but there's some, gold ritual masks. There's a gold dagger, little gold statuettes of Camazotz the bat god, and some Moche spider gods.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm on my
Looking
phone.
at a tall onyx statue. Oh, right. No screen sharing. Let me put a file in the chat. This takes a little bit longer than I would like, but I can't just drag and drop. However, this fellow is, well, you're not sure if it's a fellow. They seem to be in either making an effort or in the long established habit of not putting off any behavioral gender signals. So what the two of you see is a tall individual in a tracksuit with the hood up, even though it's a nice late spring day. Their face is completely covered in shadow. And Karen, you also notice that this was probably a Nike brand tracksuit, judging from the material and the waistband construction. But the swooshes, the embroidered swooshes, have been picked off with like a seam ripper. It has been de-logoed.
Yeah, I was just about to say, he's gone full no logo then. Sorry, this is the person in the tracksuit is just standing there in front of this. I'm still waiting for the picture to resolve.
Yeah, just staring at one of the onyx gods.
Chloe will make to take a picture of the onyx god, but make sure to get the figure in the shot as well.
Yeah, whoever they are, they politely step aside and gesture for you to get your shot.
Thanks.
I'll stand next to the guy as he's, obviously looking at this artifact and say, "It's incredible, isn't it?" And turn and look to him.
Oh yes. Oh, it's an impressive piece of work. I'm not much of an expert on Central American statuary, but this one really speaks to me. The Night Drinker.
It's got such primeval power. The look of it, quite fascinating.
Well, the one that really gives me vibes is over here, but they're not good vibes. And they lead you over to a glassed-in display of a wooden human figure that has holes bored into it. And yeah, there's something indefinably malignant about this piece. And when you check out the plaque, it turns out that this was a rack that was used to display human skins that had been peeled off of people.
Okay. As I'm chatting to this guy, can I get a better view of his face?
A little bit, yeah. Their face, it could just be a pretty blocky woman, or it could be a man who tends to be a little more fine-featured. They're very close-shaven, black skin, dark curly hair, close-cropped.
Right. I see you don't believe in logos either, I say, pointing at his...
Oh, I try to keep things simple. I feel that there is a lot of unnecessary effort going on in human culture, that we would all be a lot better off if we focused our meager time in this sphere on the very limited number of things that we can affect which matter, instead of scattering our thoughts across hundreds of things that we can affect but don't matter, or the number of things that are beyond, that matter but are beyond our power.
Wow, that's very deep and a lot to think about.
Well, I'm sorry, I tend to go there. I'm the darkness.
A philosopher? Oh.
I'm the darkness.
I'm sorry, is that a stage name? You part of a rock group?
It's my name.
Oh, I'm Tina.
Hi, Tina.
I shake his hand. Is there a story behind the name?
I felt that it was the identity towards which I was striving.
Okay.
I'm going to go now.
I nudge Cloissoné to jump in anytime she wants.
Okay.
The darkness kind of expressionlessly looks both of you up and down, nods and says, "I'm going to go now," and then just turns and walks off.
Goodbye.
All right, so from 20e siècle, where are you going? Trio.
Taking that left and heading into the head's in the special expositions, yes?
No, it is
Oh.
not.
Well, it still seems
Special
like a good
expositions is stuff that comes in and out. They change it
Oh, the
probably
head's
every
all the
season,
way-
every 6 months.
Right, the head's got to be in the lower left corner.
Oh, Tribes of the Plains?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, you'd have to, go against the flow of traffic, but
Nope, I'm perfectly happy going with traffic. I don't think we're in a super big hurry. And honestly, I'd rather be looking for cameras all around the museum.
yeah.
I'd want to do the whole circuit either way.
Okay, so you're eventually going to do the whole circuit.
Yep.
It's not in Tribes of the Plains. You find it out on the terrace. It is exposed to the elements, sitting on a 4-foot tall plinth. So it's just right there. And having done your tour throughout, let me upload an updated map.
Super interesting.
The map with Jesse's notes. There we go. So yeah, that's got the camera locations on it, where the head is on the terrace, where the doors all are. Note that the courtyard there, right to the right of the entree, is open to the sky. It's got big metal spikes lining its exterior, close enough to keep squirrels out, and pointy. And yeah, you've got the cameras, the little room between the cafe and the bathrooms. That's the security office. The cafe is kind of interestingly set up. There's a door out to where they take out their trash, but it's not like a public access door. It's, it's dumpster access only. And the cafe is set up so that they can serve both people inside the museum and people outside the museum without having people wandering between. Bistro's completely on the exterior. That seems to be like an entirely separate restaurant that they've rented out to somebody.
Do the hours of the cafe and the bistro match the hours of the museum?
No, the bistro stays open a little later.
Okay.
The grayed out area seems to be, there's a door that's marked official personnel only it says it in French.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so there's where the cameras are and how they're facing. The head is out on the terrace, and who's going to reach that first? Which group?
They stopped to talk to the darkness, so probably going to be the trio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can see the head, and you can see a guy staring at it. And he looks like, let me find him. Make sure that I upload his photo and not his character sheet. So yes, lamb skin, lamb fleece collar, leather jacket, beard, hair products, theatrical presentation. And he is saying, "Magnificent, Kelly. Can't you just feel the world's historical importance radiating from it?" And standing next to him, a woman that you had not noticed because she was eclipsed by his flamboyance, is, a woman who's apparently Kelly. And Kelly has this very suburban mom vibe. The high-waisted jeans, the twin set, huge ass purse. The only anomalous element is that she's holding a stuffed animal. It's this ratty purple bunny. It looks like she was driving down the road and it was lying in a ditch and she pulled it out and washed it, but there's only so clean it will ever be again. And she's kind of holding it tightly by the neck and saying, "World historical importance, sure, radiating, if you say so."
If you ask me, I could carve that in a weekend in my backyard, put it in the garage. Shit, I could sell tickets if it's that great.
And he turns to you and says, "You jest, sir, but I dare say that you know in your heart that you could not create this sort of gravitas. Indeed, the original artist failed to do so. What we are looking at is not merely a form in stone, but the weight of 3,000 years of history, of adoration and attention for the bone setter of days and years."
Hal, I think you're going to find the gravity acts the same way on it no matter how old it is. It doesn't get heavier just because it's 3,000 years old. But I guess what you're getting at is that it's a history. It's not really that pretty.
I no longer consider prettiness as the primary element of my aesthetic appreciation for art. I look for something that moves me more viscerally, that straddles that fine line between the aging and yet fragile civilization that we must sustain, and beneath the primal nature of the beast.
Well, you don't say. Well, I tell you what, it sounds like we're both strangers here. At least you don't sound Quebecy.
I'm from New Mexico.
New
Count
Mexico.
Volpo.
Jesse Vincent.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Vincent.
Good to meet you.
It looks
So what should I know about this? How do I appreciate this thing as much as you do?
Well, it is the visage of a primal figure from history and myth, an interlocutor between humanity and the greater cosmos, a repairer of breaches in the natural order, or some kind of spiritual intermediary.
All right. I'm not sure I can make one of those in a weekend in my garage.
And thus the beginnings of wisdom, my good man. And he claps you on the back. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to perform some simple rituals to align my energies with that of this magnificent artifact. And as he says this, one of the other guys who's out on the terrace is like, "You're going to do what now?" And he's like, "It's fine, trust me." And he starts opening up his shirt.
What a great opportunity to find out how security guards react around here.
They seem pretty mellow. One of them has drifted closer
All right.
and said, "Sir, can I help you?" And he's like, No, I am entirely self-sufficient." And he's pulled some little packet of herbs out of his pocket and is making a circle around the plinth.
I have a question.
Yo.
So, considering Jesse's been helping me move around, is there any reason I can't have taken out my laptop, the better one, hopped on their Wi-Fi, and because I'm something of a computer hacker,
Yes.
started, prior to reaching here, because I have a second idea now, started digging into their security systems. I don't know how secure their Wi-Fi is, but potentially I'm skilled enough to get past their
what you can determine right away is that if there is a security intranet, it is air-gapped and locked up tight.
Okay.
Whoever set up the security team's internet stuff
Mhm.
was probably trained much the same way you were,
Huh.
and has had months and months to set it up. But the museum intranet, where they do their scheduling and bookkeeping and personnel and HR, and send around notes about Clotilde's birthday party, that you can get into. You can find it pretty easily. Loose Wi-Fi hotspots, yeah,
Right, and
they're
that would
around, but
conceivably-
they're
Sorry, go ahead.
intranet. You're like, oh yeah, if I sit in the van for 2 hours with some of my script kiddie malware, I will crack this and I will be able to roam around in there.
Okay, so longer process, but the immediate.
Yeah, longer but
experience.
doable. I mean, computer hacking is time consuming. You got to grind it.
How about now that we're on the terrace with the Count? How about anything coming off of him? Smartphone signal that or devices that he hasn't protected properly?
Give me a roll.
Okay. Oh no, not. There's only 4 points higher. 59 for 55.
Oh yeah, and you can't even flip flop it. All right, sorry, man. Yeah, he's got a password. It's not Volpo. It's not admin. It seems.
Okay. All right. What about was it Kelly?
Kelly.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Give her a roll.
Okay. Much better. 48 to 55.
Her password is flowers123.
Should have added the 4. Okay. Can I clone what she's got on her phone?
Sure.
Okay. And then start doing. Is he in the photos by any chance?
No.
No. Okay. Reverse Google image search on her.
Okay. Give me a roll for that.
Still hacking or knowledge?
Still hacking, yeah.
29 to 55.
She turns. You can't see if it's her for sure, but you're like, oh, he said he was from New Mexico, and he called her Kelly.
Mhm.
And you're looking at a picture of a woman named Kelly Grilsch, who was briefly considered a suspect in her husband's homicide, but was quickly cleared. And it's kind of a weird mystery. She and her husband were both shot in their home, and he was killed. By a weapon was never recovered. No arrest was ever made, and yeah, she never spoke publicly about it.
Okay, I'm good for now. I'll think around on a few of the things I might want to look up on.
Yeah, Volpo is now. He stopped. He stopped undressing when like a big V of chest hair was revealed, and then got down on all fours and was kind of snuffling around in the grass, and it was a weird little performance. There are now 2 security guards standing there muttering to each other in French.
Yeah, Jesse's giving Dr. A quizzical look.
Cloissoné, you can understand what they're saying in French, which is, what is this guy doing? Well, as long as he doesn't try to touch it, I guess we're okay. Yeah, the minute he tries to touch that, I'm busting out the spray.
Yeah, she'll sort of drift over to them and in French be like, is he new? Has he been here before? Does he do this a lot?
And they look over at you and they're like, no, but Takes all kinds to sustain a healthy and vibrant something culture. You missed that one word before culture.
She's like, yeah, weird people here. There was a guy in the other room, the Darkness. He
Pardon?
called himself Darkness.
Like the rock band?
I don't know. He was really weird.
Did you
Just thought
ask
I'd
him
let
if he
you know.
believed in a thing called love?
No, didn't occur to me.
They shrug. It's a very Gallic shrug.
But, all right, you just thought I'd let you know. Seemed weird.
So the guy with the American accent who was, seemed surprised at Volpo doing this kind of comes over, and it's not a hard kick, but it's like a little nudge with his foot. He's like, come on, man, don't make a scene. And Volpo like turns and theatrically snarls at him, just like, and the guy rolls his eyes and crosses his arms. Says like, really? Are we gonna get into this like right now? Come on, man, don't be this way.
Is this is like the continuation of an argument these two have been having for a while? This feels like an interaction that's in a rut that it's seen before.
Kinda.
Volpo,
Sorry, did someone?
yeah, sorry. Volpo's like herbs and chanting and going rounds. Does that remind me of any kind of gutter magic ritual that I'm aware of? Any kind of warding?
Not any kind you're aware of, but it looks something like that. It's it's low and guttural. It sounds like German to you. Here's the big dude. And as he and Volpo are kind of squaring off, this tiny woman sort of flutters up behind the big guy and very hesitantly puts her hand on his arm and she's like, well, he's not really doing any harm, it's just, but Count, maybe. And he turns and he's like, did I ask you to speak? Did I solicit your input? And she kind of pulls her hand off and shrinks back. And she's like, no, I'm just trying to, keep everything nice. I'm sorry. He's like, apology accepted conditionally. Now, why don't you go shut your yap and be seen and not heard? And Volpo stands up and starts, closing up his shirt. And he's like, sir, I must once again protest your treatment of that young woman. And, he turns on him and he's like, okay, don't get personal, buddy. And like pokes him in the chest. Anybody doing anything?
So the young woman, does she sort of move away and separate from the group or just sort of take a step back?
She takes a couple steps back and sort of shrinks off on her own by a bench. But she's carefully watching the two men wide-eyed.
Yeah, Cloissoné, you know how I've been teaching you the sign for cut a mark out of the crowd to take their money by themselves? It's that sign.
Yep. Chloe, sort of drifts over to the bench and, sits down and says, wow, he's sort of an ass.
No. He's just passionate. He has a lot of strong feelings, but you don't know him like I do. He's really just a big confused sweetie. She says this like she is trying to convince herself, and like it's harder every day.
Yeah, I had a boyfriend like that once, and that's what I told myself until I caught him with Kelly, that bitch. But that's I'm just saying that sometimes how people act when they're passionate is how they really are.
He would never cheat on me. I believe that with every iota of my essence. Hi, I'm Evangeline, but they call me Chirp.
Well, hi, Chirp. I'm Cloissoné, but people call me Chloe.
Chloe, that's such a pretty name. And it's short for
Well,
Cloissoné,
Chirp.
like the little enamel pins?
Yeah, my mom is really into art, and so she got creative.
Well, that's charming. That's a beautiful name and unique.
Well, thank you. So from her accent, does it seem like she's American as well?
Oh yeah, there's not a French Canadian accent. Yeah, near as you can tell, everyone from Quebec has been to this museum many times and is tired of it. It's all just American tourists. And like
Gotcha.
2 Germans who, snorted at the head and headed straight for for the contemporary arts annex.
Yeah. So is this your family that you're here with?
Oh no. We're on a tour group. We got like one of those things where if you go in with some other people, you can get a better deal on the hotel and the travel. So I got to meet Kelly. She is a dear, and the Count, who there's never a dull moment. Yeah, it's been a real treat. It's been great.
So you just met the Count?
No, we've been traveling together for some time. I mean, a little time. I mean, not a lot of time. I mean, I wouldn't write a letter of recommendation for him to get a bank loan or anything.
Right. So, but you know him really well then, for your short time.
No, I've just observed him for a short time.
Wow.
Why do you ask?
I don't know. It just seems like he and that other guy are going to get into it, and
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, you know how men are. You get 2 bulls in the field and they paw and they snort, but very rarely do you see one bull gore another. I mean, I honest God think that women have more to fear from men than men have to fear from one another. Don't you think?
Oh, yes. Well, how long are you in town for?
Not too long. Like 3 more days.
Yeah, that's us too. We're seeing the
So
sights.
are you in a group?
Oh, just here with my mom over there. Point over to Karen.
I love her scarf.
Oh, don't tell her that. I'll tell her later so she knows, but if you tell her that, she'll talk to you about it a lot.
Oh, well, we can't have that. Mansteel might get a little impatient. He doesn't have a lot of attention to devote to, feminine things.
Wait. His name's Mansteel?
Don't laugh about it.
Okay, promise.
Yeah, he just please don't.
I thought Chloe loses a little of her levity, and okay.
I
Promise.
should actually go to him. As she says that, he kind of looks over his shoulder at her and just gives her one imperiously raised eyebrow, and she jumps up and she's like, "It was lovely meeting you. Bye-bye."
Bye.
Greg, did Volpo take his shirt off fully and put it down on the grass or something?
No, he just unbuttoned it a lot and now has buttoned it back up. And he and Mansteel, as Chirp predicted, have done bullshit macho posturing at each other, but no more than that.
Okay.
Are you guys any
Yes.
actions?
I'll kind of move towards Volpo and can I help you with that and like help him button up his shirt a little bit?
How are you? That's a pretty forward kind of. And he's like, I assure you, madam, I am perfectly capable of garbing myself, much as I appreciate the attention.
Okay, I rub down his shoulder, and as I do, I use the garment tag spell. So I'll just give that a quick roll. I can flip-flop.
You may.
Yes, okay, so I rolled a 75, it becomes a 57 and succeeds.
Okay, so you've tagged his coat.
Yep.
And he sort of...
shirt.
Oh, okay, so he kind of preens his hair back a little and, chats with you while Man-Steel glowers and rolls his eyes. Anything else you guys... Are you going to try and engage with him further? Ask him about his little ritual or...
Sure, I'll ask, what was that that circle you were doing? That dance? That was a bit unusual.
Well, I feel no need to conceal any aspect of my nature from those around me. We all live so constrained within the roles forced upon us by society, when in fact, society should be the tool that we use to carry out our needs and desires. It is crucial for me to remain in touch with what is primarily true. I feel that by following back the historical threads of civilization that run through this statue, I can draw a more firm line between the day of our culture and civilization and the dark night of our bestial selves, the better to appreciate both halves of the magnificent human whole.
You're trying to get in touch with your primitive animal side?
Oh, I am in touch with my primitive animal side, he says, adjusting his cravat.
I don't do much more than paleo myself, but...
Speaking of which, there's a lovely steak place in this area. Anybody interested in a bite? It's a bit early, isn't it? Perhaps this evening. And he looks around at all of you and, looks at Kim and says, "It's wheelchair accessible, I'm sure."
Good to know. Thanks.
So Chloe comes over to Karen and says, "Oh, come on, Mom. We can do that."
Yeah, sure. Would be delighted.
Outstanding. Yeah, if you'll give me your phone, I'll put my contact details into it.
Oh, I've only got this old clunky thing. Just write it down on my hand. I offer a pen.
And he does the little lip brush on the back of your knuckles. He's like, "Eternally charming," and writes Count Volpo and his phone number on your hand.
Chloe tries to make eye contact with Chirp, and if she does, she just rolls her eyes dramatically.
And Chirp mouths, "I think it's adorable." Okay, so Jesse, Kim, and Dr. A. These I was careful to use gender neutral names, so because I didn't know. So, are you doing the male or female versions of your characters?
Jesse is a he, him.
Okay.
Same.
Same. Okay. So I'm just, yeah, I'm like, Volpo could readily flirt with all y'all, but
Sure, he's in touch.
While all of that nonsense was going on with Volpo, Dr. A was taking the opportunity while the guards were distracted to get a closer look at the wall and the fence on the edge of the terrace overlooking the cliff.
okay, there's no fence.
I
on
thought there
the
was like iron
terrace.
bars or something.
No.
Oh, okay.
All there is the 4-foot stone wall to keep people from just stupidly stumbling over.
Sure.
There's a fence between, there's a wall and a fence from the parking lot. That fence is a chain link, a basic cyclone fence about 10 feet tall, attached to the wall of the museum.
What is at the bottom of this cliff?
Looking down, it's backyards of modest to large suburban homes. It looks like, so okay, you get the cliff, it goes down. There's a strip of homes and it's like residential and industrial. And then that strip is pretty thin. There's a highway. And then on the other side of the highway, some more industrial stuff, and then the St. Lawrence Seaway.
Okay. And the hillside going down, it says in there is kind of wooded.
Yeah.
A lot of trees and stuff that would break the momentum of a large stone head were it to roll down there.
You are looking down there and trying to remember your physics classes and multiplying out 600 pounds times this steep angle times, that'd be a pretty big moment of inertia. And your picture, you would not be able to predict its path if you just tipped it over the edge. It would be like a ball in an old-fashioned pachinko machine.
I was just going to say giant head pachinko, yeah.
But you're pretty sure that by the time it hit the bottom, it would either shatter or be going fast enough to knock over a car.
Okay.
Or if it hit a building, it would probably just bash through the wall and wind up in someone's dining room.
Okay.
All right. So any other interactions you want to have with these strange people?
Hey, Kim, Jesse says. What's your appetite for risk like this afternoon? Give me a 1 to 10 here.
Let's go for a 7, 8.
You
gotta be more
want to
specific.
run over Man-Steel's foot for me? Distract him a little bit?
Oh, you just had to say the name Man-Steel and I was in. Okay, let's do it.
Wait, his name's what now? All right, so as you're separating and getting back in, you're going to run over his foot.
And
okay, and what is Jesse doing during this?
Dipping his wallet.
All right, give me that roll. Kim, you don't have to roll anything.
71, but let's just flip-flop that sucker for a 17.
Okay. When you run over his foot, he's like, ow, oh, hey, man. I'm sorry, did I get in your way there, dog? And he sort of, is looking down and making sure that your wheelchair's okay.
Yeah, you got in my way.
Sorry, man. I didn't see you coming. And he, steps aside and gestures for you to go past him.
Thanks. Considerate of you.
Are you going to say it that sarcastically?
Well, his rage passion sort of suggests that, yeah, he might wind up saying it that sarcastically. So, yeah.
And, Man-Steel's like, the fuck, dude? No need to be a douchebag about it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, no,
this is why I wrote down, don't let Kim get in fights.
I
I wrote it down.
Maybe you're just going to pay more attention to your surroundings instead of yourself.
Okay, man. Sure. I'll do that. Whatever.
Okay.
I'm trying to see. Let's see. Former Marine substitutes for struggle. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, no,
And your legs are feeling well rested and spry. And the fact is, pushing that wheelchair around and the canes and all the PT, you have fucking gorilla arms. You kind of look like if you took the top of a He-Man doll and put it on the bottom of a Barbie doll, with these thin pin legs and this thick veiny scribble veined torso. What was I gonna check? There was something I was looking. Oh yeah, I was gonna find Man Steel's real name. Here it is. So he has got things like sandwich shop reward cards.
Perfect.
Under the name Dirk Mansteel. But his driver's license and credit cards are in the name Gerald Ostracolter.
All right, fair enough. And I'm doing this in the bathroom. Like the bathroom stall is always the best place to go through a wallet. Pull the cash, pull the credit cards, leave. Is there a driver's license?
Yeah.
New Mexico or somewhere else?
New Mexico.
All right.
Oh, wait, no, let me check. That might be wrong, actually. Well, I don't know. No, it would be New Mexico. Yes.
All right. So keep the cash, keep the credit cards, keep the driver's license because there's a market for those. Leave the useless sandwich cards in the wallet and leave it like, yeah, I want the guards to notice it. So I'm going to leave it like on top of the toilet when I leave the stall because I want somebody turning this in relatively quickly.
It's one of those toilets where there's like the pipes. So you're just going to have to leave it on the floor after you wipe your prints off it.
That'll work.
Sorry, Gerald. Enjoy your toilet germs.
Hey, he was a jerk to Kim, all right? And you don't fuck with my friends.
There it is. Okay.
All right.
So yeah,
Kim
you
wants to
got
run
a
over your
fairly
foot, you let him.
fat stack of that. Oh, something else you saw under the name Gerald Ostralter was a union membership card in the electricians union.
Oh shit.
Not the oh shit! I fucked with an electrician. No, not that.
Started well, you know, unions travel in packs. But like, if I want to be fucking with a security system, the last thing I want is somebody else on site who might be able to do the same thing better.
Maybe. Well, if y'all head back to the Airbnb, maybe we can discuss that. And I can tell you a little bit about what you and Kim noticed on your patrol through the Civ. So the cameras they're not the latest greatest, but they also are unhackable by virtue of being built before the idea that everything had to be Wi-Fi controlled. They are closed circuit, battery backup, but wired in. They're air gapped so that you can't just hack them from the parking lot. You have to actually touch them and plug shit into them to mess with them. Let's see, what else we got? You could cut or smash those glass doors, the main doors that are onto the terrace, but it would be loud and hard and obvious. The emergency exits on the side are steel doors with crash bars, and it looks like the one into special exhibits doubles as their loading area. It's double wide, so it's 2 doors. There's no external key hole or doorknob. Same as the one on the other side, which is normally wide, just a single door. The one by the bathrooms on the left side was incorrectly installed. The strike plate of the lock has a gap where the latch should be tight. So it'll be easier to pick. That one, or not really even pick, force. That one, you're just gonna, you think you might be able to get through it with nothing more than a cut up big gulp cup. The doors and windows all have magnetic locks. They look like they are hooked into a silent alarm. So you would need to either get your hands on them to spoof them or bypass them. The glass panels are all wired too, so they'll go off if cut or broken. It looks like most of the security is focused on the Mesoamerican stuff where the gold is. This is what they're worried about, is that someone is going to try and shove one of those gold statues down their pants and wander out. So those are in glass boxes that have pressure sensors in them, so that and they're probably kept at higher than the exterior pressure. So if there's even a hole drilled in the glass, it'll start outgassing and set off the pressure sensor. There's none of that shit on the head. They are counting on the head being too awkward and not expensive enough for anyone to bother stealing. Let's see. And you were gonna try and get on the private museum intranet.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a roll.
Okay. Zero 3.
Wow. Yeah. The last time a system was this easy to get into, the admin was just starting to let his drug problem affect his work. Oxy, man. It's an epidemic.
That is,
So,
right.
yeah, you're in. What do you want to see? What do you want to do?
Okay, so the cameras are not attached to it because they're not part of the whole system.
Right.
At least I can't access them that way. Okay. Can I get schedules, things like that? I mean, as a
Yep.
basic start,
Yep.
rounds, times, basically the whole, you know.
We lost Chris again. Damn it.
Power.
Ooh, yeah.
That poor man. Yeah, you can find the guard schedules. It turns out they've got 3 guys working nights: Jean-Claude, Jean-Luc, and Jean-Pierre.
And what can I find about them on the vast sea of information that is the World Wide Web?
Well, those are pretty common names. You've got their last
Right.
names. They're, give me a roll. Give me a roll.
Would I also have their social insurance numbers?
No.
No. Okay.
That stuff is more tightly locked up in the HR files.
Oh, okay. Good. Okay.
This is just basic scheduling, you know, when they're going to move out the exhibits in the contemporary, in the special exhibits, when those are changing over, you know, when cleaners come through, which docents are working when, that kind of stuff.
Okay. I rolled a 20.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Jean-Pierre recently on Facebook changed his status from in a relationship to it's complicated.
Yeah.
And he's been vague booking about, you know, some stuff that indicates a certain amount of dissatisfaction.
Mm-hmm. All right. So potentially manipulable, but not a lot more interpersonal, face-to-face stuff.
Jean-Claude's got, you know, it's just pictures of his kids and sports stuff.
Anything that could be leverage?
Not with Jean-Claude. Jean-Pierre seems like, Jean-Claude's like the middle-aged guy set in his ways. Actually, you're going to need Cloissoné's help for a lot of this, because a lot of Jean-Claude's stuff's in French. So you're not sure if he was in a police union or if he's just talking about the police union.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep, happy to help.
Yeah, but he might be an ex-cop, or he might be a cop wannabe. Hard to tell.
Okay. Is there anything in their system about like trusted delivery or anything that do they have their own? I mean, I imagine the museum has its own delivery service in terms of shipping and receiving and such and such. Are they connected into this at all? Is there any way to sort of get a sense of who would not be suspicious?
Oh yeah,
That truck
you know, you can see who that you can get into. Well, it's in the schedule for
Yeah.
when assorted groups have come in. You know, people have come in to give lectures. Different charities or institutions that have permitted their collections to be displayed, and also so it looks like they aren't a big enough museum because I said they're small. So they don't do their own restoration in-house, or not all of it anyway. It looks like they manage a lot of the 20th century and colonial stuff is restored and cleaned in-house. But you see appointments with outside firms to deal with stuff from Tribes of the Plains and the Mesoamerican.
Thought for the crew. Naturally, wouldn't be able to translate it myself. But what if we sent like an emergency email to curator, someone of importance, about the restoration of the head? Make up some sort of gibberish about it needing emergency servicing, something like. Or it can't be outside because acid rain, et cetera, et cetera. You know,
I was going to say, it's 3,000 years old. What's going to happen that's urgent?
You know, just as a sort of positioning for the possibility of, and then it needs to be picked up, or it needs special attention, something along those lines. I mean, Kim's not a museum person or an art person particularly, so the terminology might not.
All right, so you're going to try and spoof a need for the head to get restored.
I dig that.
That's
the
my
risk
thought.
is, the risk is they just bring it inside.
Then we'd have to break through the doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall we just kind of compare what our capabilities are? Because I know what I can do, but I don't know a lot about what other people could do.
All right.
So,
I'm going to let you guys chat among yourselves. I'm going to go get myself a glass of water. I'll be back. And figure out your heist. I think you guys have got maybe what you need. Either tell me what you're thinking for your plan, or tell me what other information you need before you can make a plan.
One more question about the terrace. So that curved wall, the cliff is right beyond that, right? But
Yep.
if you keep on going to the right where the emergency exit is marked, the one next to Exposition Speciales, that's also a loading dock. So there's a little bit of space there to pull up a truck.
Yep. You could.
Is there any, if we move the head down to like the lower right-hand corner of the terrace, would there be space to like hoist it over that waist-high wall?
It could be done. You would need to either have a really good crane, well, not a really good crane, but a pretty good crane, or some kind of heavy platform that you could roll it across.
Okay.
But it could be done, yeah. And then you would not have to go through the cameras and anything. You could get, if you were going to do it, you'd have to cut through the fence. But that, Cloissoné could do that with a pair of bolt cutters.
Training her.
Then you would have to just get onto the terrace from there. But yeah, if you're planning on moving the head from the terrace to the parking lot, moving a person from the parking lot to the terrace is much less of a challenge.
Cool. That is the information I needed.
All right.
Do not let me hold you from your water.
So are we going to talk about this other crew that's clearly here?
Oh yeah, the other crew that's here to steal our goddamn head.
Mm-hmm.
The other crew that's there. The other crew that's there to take the blame when we steal the goddamn head is what you mean to say.
I was either going to say that, or I was going to say the crew that was going to steal the head for us, and then we were going to hijack them in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm good saying either.
Well, do we want to just mention capabilities and such, so we've got a better view?
Yeah,
as,
like
as you mentioned.
you guys would know, Jesse steals things, right? You know, he can pick pockets, obviously. He's fairly good with security systems, although he's not a computer geek by any stretch of the imagination. He runs a pretty good con game if he's put to it. Not great, but he's got the skills.
I can do a lot in terms of distraction, a bit of infiltration, and yeah, drawing attention away, or pretending to be somebody and getting in. So if we needed to replace somebody, or you needed somebody to walk in invisibly but not able to do anything about locked doors, I can help there.
Dr. A has kind of a trying to think of the word, divination kind of effect going on. He has access to this drug that acts kind of as a spirit guide. When people are under the effects of it, they remember things that happened to other people who are under the effects of the drug, and stuff that happened in the far distant past. And I can get kind of vague information from that by putting somebody under the influence of the drug and questioning them.
Hacker, ex-Marine, you know, can get into fights semi-easily, but yes, operates under on a wheelchair with support when necessary, but does have mobility.
Yeah, straight A student. So knows things, can talk to people, has been being trained by Jesse to, comes from questionable origins. There's a reason why Dad isn't in the picture anymore.
So I like the idea of making them do it for us. But
Trouble is,
how?
We're not sure.
Stealing it off them afterwards, because they've got at least, two big brawly dudes, and we've only got the Marine, really.
I mean, they're full of themselves. We can take them down. Like, that type always is overconfident. I don't know if I'm 100% sure they're going for the theft.
I'm not 100% sure they're capable of pulling off the theft. They seem kind of goofy.
They seem super goofy.
Oh, they're adepts and avatars. They're so crazy. They're obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it'd be tricky to get off them. Particularly, I think Volpo has warded the head already, or has some kind of connection to it. Yeah.
That's
yeah, and
right
no offense there, Mom, but I find that the weirder people are, the more weird talents they have.
So, what if we do this? What if we put Dr. A invisible on the terrace before the museum closes?
Sorry, I think I'm the only one who can be invisible. It's all about, yeah, sorry.
Sorry, Karen, what if you position on the terrace before, I don't know if it lasts long enough, but what if you position on the terrace invisible, right? That gives us somebody on the inside and avoids the whole door problem, right? We can rent a flatbed truck.
Yeah, but then you're leaving a paper trail showing that we rented a flatbed truck.
I can
The
get
head would fit in the van.
Yeah. No, we just need the truck.
Yeah.
I can get somebody to take cash for it. Like, that's no problem. I'll con somebody into that.
I think that if we can rent the truck in under the name of Dirk Mansteel or perhaps Baron Volpo,
Boom.
that might be a more appropriate use of our time.
I guarantee you that we can, because I've got his credit cards. So we do that. We position the truck.
You better hurry.
Yeah, no, we got to hurry. I'm actually I'm halfway out the door already.
Okay.
So
Are you going to try and get a so what is the plan?
It seems to be we back the van up along the right near the emergency exit, and then we get the head over the wall with some kind of lever or seesaw type of thing with a counterweight over the wall. I don't know, what would it require?
It would, okay, to move the thing off the plinth, one person could do it, maybe. 2 people could do it, probably. 3 people could do it, certainly. Just getting it off that onto like a hand truck or a cart. Once it's on a cart, 1 or 2 people can move it, depending on if it's a flat truck or the tilted kind. If you want to move it over the gap, you're going to need some kind of platform to move it along. But as long as you're renting a truck, why not rent a truck with a crane?
Like, shit, we can even go theatrical, right? Well, like, we'll rent one of those rigs that, you know, you stand on it with a camera and it goes up in the air and you get the gorgeous dolly shot.
What, like a cherry picker?
Yeah, like a cherry picker. I have seen movies made in Quebec City.
Of course, we also have to factor in the 3 guards who might come and check out the sound of a big engine running or a generator.
Or see the crane moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I certainly have the capacity to render someone in a state of less than consciousness for an extended period of time, should the need arise.
Well, that's dangerous, though.
Well,
you can accidentally... Knocking people out with drugs is not as easy as it looks in the movies, and it's not as safe as it looks in the movies. To perform an act of chemical restraint, you have to prepare the shot, you have to get it in them, and it has to be the right amount. Too little, they'll feel a little woozy. Too much, they'll go into respiratory arrest. I mean, ether is not, the ether-soaked rag is a complete myth. You would have to hold it to their face for like 5 minutes, and then they'd pass out. And if you held it on 30 seconds too long, they'd never wake up.
Right.
It's not even a good way to murder someone.
I'm wondering what the effect would be if, say, I took like an antacid tablet made of Cipitol, trademark, and slipped it into somebody's drink.
Cipitol is injected.
Oh, okay.
You've got stuff that will knock people out. You've got orals that will put someone to sleep, but you need to know their weight.
Their weight, yeah.
Their weight, their height, and their smoking status.
Is that in their personnel file?
Weight and height are not.
Okay.
And, smoking status, of course not.
Yeah. Something
bad.
like made of a physical or something like that.
Yeah, again, the records you can access are the stuff that's fairly public.
Yeah.
Private stuff like medical records, the Canadian equivalent of the Social Security number. No. You're not getting enough to steal the identity of everyone in the museum.
No.
But you could maybe get enough to spoof emails from, board members for a little while.
Could I send one from their supervisors saying that they've been rescheduled for tonight and they don't need to come in?
Oh, well, there is they have a staggered schedule of showing up and leaving.
Okay.
So there's not like a changing of the guards when all the day guards leave and all the night guards show up.
Right. Sure.
It's, one guy on the day shift shows up 2 hours late and stays 2 hours later, and then a guard replaces him. And so you never have two guards who showed up at the same time and are both perfectly fresh, but are going to both get tired at the same time. They try to keep it changed up so that, people's alertness is not all on the same level. And you think that the two guards who are there might notice when one doesn't show up.
Right.
And, give him a call.
Yeah. I'm wondering, could we is there a way to create a window? Could we tell one not to come in, but then send an emergency to one of the ones who's on, saying, there's some family thing or whatnot?
Oh,
basically give them no reason to want to stay, and then just diminish the numbers.
what if we get one not to show up? Let's assume we can do that. And then one of us shows up as a trainee, right? An hour late to make sure the guy's super annoyed and ready to go home. It's really sorry. Tell me what I need to know about this museum.
Karen's good at
basically
playing
fakes it.
roles.
That's probably me, unless somebody else really wants to do it, but I'm happy to take the risk.
Well,
I can definitely.
Anyone wants who speaks the language.
Oh,
yeah,
good point. Well, Chloe, I've always thought you'd make a great security guard.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Karen?
Well, I was about to say, I can provide other kinds of distractions as fire or police, and be fairly believable there. So if Chloe's one of the three, another one's late due to email hacking, I could sort of distract the third one, and Chloe can volunteer to check out the rest of the place while I keep the one actual guard busy at the front.
Works for me.
Yeah.
And then the rest of you'll have to haul it over, get it over the wall.
Okay. So
we have somebody with great upper body strength.
All right. So break this down for me step by step, as if it's going perfectly. So first, what do?
Emails or gets a hold of their phone number so we can be a supervisor telling them that their shift has been switched, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we want to open up sometime around midnight, 2 a.m., basically the worst possible human cognition time.
Yeah. So starting with that to take care of one of them.
Having this at the worst possible human cognition time will give us an edge over the guards.
Because we're ready for it.
Which someone who works nights as a security guard certainly will not be. Okay.
I could probably prescribe a little something to keep everybody awake.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I'm trying to remember the name of the stuff they use in the Air Force.
Provigil.
No, I was thinking it's something like Zenity. Provigil is the weird one that just removes your need to sleep, right?
Yep. They do use it in the Air Force.
They do, but I mean, I've heard they've had weird effects from it.
If you go 48 hours.
How appropriate.
Yeah, no, Zenity is also used by the Air Force, and it's apparently just medical speed.
Oh, nice.
Adderall's a great study aid. I mean, I hear.
So, yeah, there are you've got opportunities. So Angel's writing, he's already writing out the prescriptions.
Oh,
going through his prescription pad like he's drawing you like one of his French girls. It's really something.
So we're going to send the email to open up the window around 1 a.m. when there's one real guard and one Chloe guard.
Okay.
Karen is going to get back into the museum before closing. You can stay invisible that long. There's a corner on the terrace that's not visible from any of the cameras.
Yeah, I mean, do you want me to be the distraction as a police person to pull the guard out the front, or do you want me hidden invisibly at the back? Your choice.
If Karen's going to be in there invisible, since their security seems to be focused on the gold trinkets in the Mesoamerican room, setting off an alarm there is going to draw everybody to that area, looking for the intruder, looking for who's there to steal the valuable stuff, while we're out there making away with the 600-pound giant head.
Yeah. I also lean towards on-site because if that other cabal decides to screw around, I'd rather have somebody there so we can find out what happened.
All right.
Aren't we supposed to meet them for dinner or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we can
Are you-
still do that before this 1 a.m. thing. It depends how long dinner goes for.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you guys don't have to do this like tonight. You have several, and it's probably going to take a while to
Yeah,
get
this is going to be a tomorrow night thing.
tomorrow night or a few days after. I mean,
Yeah. We have a 3-day
just
timer
getting
on
the
this.
truck. Getting the truck's going to take a while. Arranging the schedule so that it's not super alarming.
Yeah.
Does anybody
Doing-
have a CDL and can operate this truck?
I mean, 1 out of 2 ain't bad.
Yeah, Jessica, you had big trucks at the carnival.
It's totally a carnival thing. I will make that argument all night long.
Now I can see it.
Driver too.
And I'll fake up a uniform for Chloe that looks official.
Nice.
Sure. It's not hard.
Yep. And this is exactly why I was paying attention to the name tags and got the
Mhm.
company name so we can fake the logo on a little piece of, plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making the fake stuff's not going to be hard. It won't require rolls. Now, are you going to, so you're going to have a truck with a crane and you're just going to reach across into the terrace. You're going to get someone to the terrace,
Yep.
have them take it off, move it to a crane accessible point, move it with the crane.
Yep.
Okay, the crane rented in the name of
Dirk Mansteel.
Except his real name.
Gerald
Yeah,
Ostrakulter.
Gerald Ostrakulter. And I'm going to need to do that. Shit. It's funny, but I'm not sure it's worth it. Okay, here's the problem. If I rent it, I can't rent it anytime after tonight because he's going to report the credit card stolen. If I rent something with stolen credit cards tonight, it's going to be traced back by the time we're ready to use it.
You can still rent it in his name, but just use a different. You pay cash.
Yes, I can do that.
And if we're going to dinner tonight, hey, we found this wallet at the thing. Does this belong to one of you? Does this belong to return the
Oh, I
wallet?
don't even have the wallet anymore. Like, he's probably got it. The security guards probably found it in the bathroom. If not, great, but.
Okay. So you are going to go dine with the weirdos.
Do we all want to go, or do just mom and daughter want to go?
That it might be better if they don't know we're all together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they might already suspect it, but they don't know.
All right. While the two of you are getting dressed to go out and meet Count Volpo, Dr. Kulbar, oh no, it would be Jesse who gets a phone call.
Sure.
It's from Mara.
All right.
And she's like, hey, Jesse,
Oh,
how's it
Jay,
going?
yes. It's fine. Don't call me Jesse.
Right. Oh, so this is not one of your super safe phones.
They're all super safe phones until they're not super safe phones. So good to be in the right habit. But it's good to hear your
Okay.
voice. What's up, Em?
Well, so, oh, this is awkward. You know that thing we were talking about?
Wait.
You,
Wait, you hired another bunch of punks to get it? I'm seeing.
no.
No? Oh.
I did not do that thing you said. No.
Okay.
I think maybe you should just leave it where it is now.
Why would we do that?
Well, it's complicated. You know how I felt that it was representative of energies that were out of balance,
Yes, I do.
and therefore not active, not operating correctly on reality, like an engine put in neutral, right?
I kind of tuned a lot of that out, but I knew you were upset about something and you wanted us to move it.
Well, if it's an engine put in neutral and it's an engine that is doing something good, then you want to put it in drive and get where you're going to go.
Yes.
But if it's an engine that's in neutral for a big truck that's aiming at a convent full of nuns, then maybe you want to just leave it in neutral the way it is.
Okay, I followed
And-
that.
I think it may be more of a school full of nuns kind of circumstance than I really originally thought. I may have gotten what your friend Kim would call bad intel.
Okay. So first and foremost, I was kind of counting on paying off a debt with this thing.
That you and I could really use that money, but no, this matters more. You can consider that canceled. I understand how much effort you have already put in, and I appreciate it.
All right. I certainly still feel like I owe you one, just maybe not one with a monetary figure like that attached to it. Second thing is, the reason I asked about another bunch of punks is there's some other people sniffing around this thing.
Oh, I'm aware. That is part of the reason that I think it might maybe be better left where it is.
So should we stop them from doing anything to it?
Do you think you can?
Do I think I can't? I mean, they seem kind of puffy, like a balloon.
I don't know that that is an accurate assessment of the circumstance.
I see. So you don't think we can handle it? Mara doesn't think we can handle it, guys.
Are you going to put her on speakerphone?
Yeah, I'm going to put her on speakerphone. Nobody tells Jesse he can't handle a gaff.
Jesse is twisting and misrepresenting my words. Hi, everybody. How are you feeling?
Good, Mara. What's up?
Well, I was just telling Jesse that the plan that I encouraged you to make and carry out may now, in the larger scheme of things, be a very bad idea.
We almost bought a crane.
I hope you can get your money back.
I mean, what?
Can you
What about the
elaborate?
visions, though, Mara? The pain and the age and the...
It may be that that pain is restrained now, and that by restoring the head, by buying the groceries, that you will take them out and taking them back home, they might spoil, whereas they will stay fresh as long as they are in the grocery store.
I feel like somebody else might be trying to buy the groceries too.
Does the name Count Valpo mean anything to you?
I may have, yes, I think I've heard that name.
She thinks
Yeah.
he's too big for us.
No, but I would very much prefer it if there was no conflict between you and any other interested parties. I don't want to see this turn into something big and ugly for anyone. I don't want anybody to get hurt. I think that the energies that some of us have sensed, Karen, Angel, are maybe less stable than could be hoped. I worry that this is putting a torch to an oil-soaked rag.
So what do you want us to do, Mara? Just to pull up stakes and leave? To secure the grocery, or what?
Just leave the groceries in the store.
I really wanted a ribeye steak. I've been thinking about a ribeye steak all day.
Well, if you insist on getting the steak, maybe don't take it back home, but grill it somewhere else.
Okay.
Somewhere far from Ohio.
Sure.
Are you will?
Does she sound okay? Like, is this Mara?
Not
Is there,
super
like, stress
okay, no.
levels? Is there any hint of her being forced to say things?
Give me a notice roll.
Yeah, sure. That is a 37, which is plenty.
Okay. she sounds uncomfortable, which could mean that she has a gun to her head, or it could mean that this is just a super awkward situation where she's asked you to do this complicated, risky thing, and then when you are 80% of the way through it, says, "Oh, wait, oops, silly me, no." So she's uncomfortable. You can't intuit the source of the discomfort. So what's the doppelganger test? Because, Karen certainly knows that it is possible to duplicate people. There's a number of ways that can be done.
I'll just check that. I don't know. She still wants us to bring back her favorite wine from Quebec. Well, beer, whatever they serve. And I'll mention the wrong thing and see if she corrects me.
Give me a connect roll. This is a little bit Baroque. She could just figure, oh, she's just being nice. Yeah, okay, whatever. Bring me this wine, or because you don't know what her favorite wine is. But give me the connect roll to pick out a beverage that would have some special.
04. So yes.
Boom.
I only drink I only drink Napa Valley. Yeah, it's her.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, listen, I gotta go.
Is just gonna leave the groceries in the store.
Well,
Nope. We'll leave the groceries. It's fine.
You sure?
Sure.
As a last measure, does she use a smartphone?
You don't know if this is a smartphone or not.
But I mean,
this came from this came from a number you don't recognize, but that could be because she's using a burner like a sensible person would.
Right. Okay. So
like someone who has spent more than 45 minutes with Kim would.
So trying to hack her phone camera to see who's around her is probably not productive.
That's really hard to do by remote when she's on a call.
Yeah. Okay. Just checking.
All right. Gonna keep her on the line. Let her hang up.
I'm good.
All right. So she hangs up. So does this change your plan?
Jesse's pacing. Jesse's angry pacing.
She just said, "Don't bring it home."
It doesn't add up.
But if she doesn't want us to take it anymore, why are we going to take it? We shouldn't.
No.
I mean, we'll just dump it in the goddamn river.
Wow.
Well, what's the point of doing that?
No.
Nice river.
What happens
it doesn't
if it breaks?
What's
that-
that, Doc?
What would happen if, say, it were to be destroyed? Then, if it's potentially an evil artifact that's in neutral to keep it from careening into a school bus full of nuns.
It unleashes its energy on the school bus full of nuns.
Does it?
I don't
I
know.
look at Karen.
I'm not a mystic archaeologist.
Generally, if you don't know exactly what you're doing, don't press the red button. And that's what destroying it would be.
Good life motto.
Yeah.
But all she said was,
The bright red candy-colored button.
I don't like that she's telling us to walk away. If it's dangerous to move it, and these other mooks are going to move it, then we should be trying to stop them from moving it. It doesn't add up.
We could try and find out what they want or what they know about it and what they think they're doing.
Yeah.
you can do that at dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can keep going forward with the prep, and then that way we're ready one way or the other.
Dr. Coulbard,
Yes.
you probably have something in your little portable Woodstock bag that, if dropped into a drink, makes it like 3 drinks. Just putting that out there.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was always the game plan with going to dinner.
I
Like
see.
that.
Now, you'd have to be careful again, because you don't know how much anybody weighs, and you do not want to put someone in an irreversible coma, probably.
Right.
So
Probably.
erring on the side of caution might get you no effect, because you don't know what anyone's tolerances are.
Yeah. I'm thinking that perhaps, given my professional responsibilities here, I probably would not know off the top of my head just exactly how much it requires to, say, roofie a drink, but somebody like Jesse may have in the past at least been adjacent to people who...
Wow!
I mean, harsh but true. Right. The trick is you always go for the underdose, because that way the failure mode isn't so bad.
Right.
All right, so are you going to set Karen up with, probably one for Volpo? So are you going to make them up separately for Volpo, Mansteel, Kelly, and Chirp?
Yeah, they're all... I mean,
Yeah.
I was able to kind of gauge their rough sizes. I mean, Volpo and Mansteel certainly are, at least twice the weight of somebody like Chirp, who seemed rather tiny and what have you. But I mean,
So you're erring on the side of caution.
Here. Do I need to roll to calculate dosages here?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we help by possibly finding any social media for someone like Mansteel bragging about how much he can bench or lift that might put him in a better ballpark?
Is his weight on his driver's license?
There is a weight on his driver's license. It's a 2-year-old driver's license. So do you weigh more or less than you did 2 years ago?
He seems
Just
like
a rhetorical question,
because
because I know I do not.
yeah, fair enough.
All right. I got a 92, but I believe I can...
All right, success or failure?
But I can flip that in some way, can I not?
Is it your obsession?
The human animal.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see if it's marked as your obsession skill. Yes. Your licensed physician skill is your obsession, so you can flip-flop that.
All right, so that would be a 29, which is
Okay.
65, so yeah.
There you go. Yeah, you don't have to roll for all 4 of them.
Okay.
So, all right, so you've got clearly labeled little tubes of powder. How are you going to label them? Because it would be very suspicious if she turned up at dinner, dropped her purse, and outrolled these little suspicious powder packets with everyone's names on them.
Oh, the potential.
Just
yeah,
like
I would say I'll lay them out and let Karen come up with whatever system is best going to work as a mnemonic device for her.
Yeah, I'll just go like 1, 2, 3, 4 and put them in like order of height or something.
Okay, so 1 is Chirp, 2 is Kelly, 3 is Volpo, 4 is Mansteel. All right. Okay, and so the 2 of you off to dinner you go. It is a pretty nice place, and it's just Volpo and Kelly.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, I know. You were hoping for more sweet, sweet Mansteel action.
weren't we all?
Wow, that sounded better in my head. Anyhow, get there. How are you dressed? What is
To impress.
Okay. So just like, I am a formidable woman who must be taken seriously, or I'm sexy as hell?
Oh, a bit of both. I'm
Okay.
thinking Alexis Colby, power shoulders, and cleavage.
Cloissoné?
Maybe something a little more conservative than that. So nice, but maybe like sundress-ish with like, you know, some kind of sweater, since it is evening in the, you said late spring, right?
Okay. Volpo has on the full 3-piece suit. Kelly's just, you know, she's upgraded her jeans to slacks, basically. You know, still comfy flats. Is not clutching a stuffed animal anymore, but still has the big, ungainly, uncool purse. Yeah, so you show up, and you know, the Count is extremely complimentary. We can kind of fast forward this bit a little bit because we've been at it for a while, but give me a secrecy roll to dope him, because she's only drinking water.
11, match success.
Nice.
Oh yeah, it goes right into his whiskey and whiskey, down the hatch. The dose is perfect, and he is slurring and slumping on you and sniffing you.
Meow.
How does Kelly take that?
Kelly just is like, "Are you okay, Count?" And he's like, "I'm fine. I've slipped the surly bounds of cultural expectation. I am more my true self now than before." And he, you know, puts his hand on Karen's knee and another one on Kelly's knee and is like, "I have never felt quite so fulsomely masculine as I do in the presence of 3 non-perial women. You know, back in the state of nature, the alpha male would have mating rights with all the women."
But man still's not here.
Oh,
He laughs out loud and he's like, "That one is by fine. He presents himself as a barking hound, but is in fact a whining pup. I saw him once with that woman of his when they didn't know I was around, and she treated him abominably. And I don't just mean hurting with words. She took her fingers, grabbed the rim of his ear, dug her thumbnail into the rim of cartilage so hard that it had a blister for the next 2 days, all the while calling him the foulest and most demeaning of names."
Wow. I wouldn't have expected that of Chirp.
Well, people surprise you. Another whiskey and just make it one figure whiskey.
Come on, Cat, let's go to the bar and we'll pick the best whiskey. Only the best for you.
You know exactly what I want to hear. And he regrettably gives you a smack on the ass. And Kelly's like, "Count?" And he's like, "Everything's well in hand." Grope, 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 grope.
Chloe just sort of pats Kelly on the shoulder and says, "Don't worry, my mom can take care of herself."
I'll urge him to the bar and separate him from Kelly.
Is she into this?
I don't think so, but mom surprises me sometimes.
And why is she putting up with it? I've never seen. Usually his manners are impeccable. I've never seen him like this. Give me a lie roll.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna flip flop that. So 27. Oh,
Okay, yeah, you don't give you know, butter would not melt in your mouth. Huh, that's weird. I can't why do you think he's acting different? Yeah, she is on the hook of your nice girl act. The sundress really sold it.
It's
Yeah,
always
so
the clothes.
yeah. How long have you two been together?
We're not together. Oh no, we're just associate friends, associates. He he's not a bad man. He's kind of pompous and full of himself, and I worry about his racial sensitivity, but
Oh my.
he doesn't have malice, I don't think. Not for me, not for most people. I don't know. He's he's confused and confusing, but
Is that
I've
what?
never seen him be mean the way Mansteel is mean to Chirp, except now it sounds like Chirp is secretly the mean one.
Wow.
I don't know. You think that things are one way, but they're another way. And when she says this, you can tell that this is the summation of something deeply troubling to her. Like, you think things are one way, but they're another way, is the summation of the greatest pain in her life.
Yeah, I know what I think I know what you mean. So it sounds like you know more than I'm still pretty young. I I don't think I've seen as much as some people.
I
So
hope you don't, but ooh, there are
can,
such things to see.
can I try to like draw her out in some way, use like some kind of knowledge or
You're gonna have to share something real with her to get her to share something real with you.
I could have shared earlier what I found out about her if you might want to connect on that level.
Oh yeah, I assume you guys have all been,
Yeah.
you've been filled in that she saw her husband shot to death in the neck in front of her.
So,
Do you really want to pick at that scar?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just to keep consistent with what she had told Chirp earlier, she will sort of tell a story about, her first love, a boy that, she had grown up knowing, and they were friends, and then they were slightly more than friends, and then, the betrayal of her friends with him, and yeah, just and it's one of those where there are elements of truth to it, but it's exaggerated to.
Yeah.
But
And
it's about lost love, is
yeah,
like how she weaves it together.
okay. And you can tell, and she's listening, but as she's listening, you see her, you can almost see her gradually shifting her perspective where she doesn't view you as her peer, but as a child, and she's an adult. And so she kind of pulls her stuff back into her and, tries to give you advice about boys. So that's kind of a bust.
Mm.
I mean, the more honest you'd been, the more honesty you would have gotten out of her. She seems to work that way, but yeah. Meanwhile, back at the bar, Volpo like stumbles into a column and kind of rebounds off it, straightens himself up. Pardon me, I'm usually as sure-footed as a great jungle cat.
Oh, I can see that. Here, I sit him down on a bar stool or something, or an alcove.
Yeah, he lounges. He's very relaxed.
You know, I know a secret about you, Count. Can I call you Count? Or do you prefer?
You certainly may.
I know what you were really doing with that stone head this afternoon.
Oh.
You were marking it, weren't you? You were making it your own, marking your territory.
Oh, so close. No, I was permitting it to mark me. I was attempting to demonstrate my loyalty to the force it represents, a force that has been damaged and displaced, but can, through the action of loyal servitude, rise again. And he, like, grabs both your hands and stares into your eyes and says, have you heard of the Comte de Saint-Germain?
He's a myth. He's not real.
Oh, but behind him, but what is a myth except a story that we tell ourselves to explain the otherwise inexplicable, dare I say, the numinous? Oh, the force referred to as the Comte de Saint-Germain is entirely real. But in chains, the head is the key.
You're saying that's the head of the Comte?
I knew you'd get it, he says, staring down your cleavage.
And what is it you want to do then? Do you want to protect it or take it to safety?
I will do whatever I am bid do to it in order to keep the future represented by the Orthodox Order of Saint-Germain safe.
There's an Orthodox order?
Oh yes, they're good folks.
Right.
Very wise and learned. They explained so much to me.
And they asked you to come here to Quebec?
Indeed. Excuse me for a minute, will you? And he gets up and sort of weaves his way towards the bathroom.
Okay. You mentioned he was like wearing a cravat. Does he also have a pocket square?
Yeah.
Okay. As he's sort of getting up, I kind of help him up, and I pick his pocket square from his lapel.
Okay. All right. And yeah, he's gone for a while.
Excellent. That gives me enough time to do that power that lets me go do psychometry on one of his items of clothing. So this pocket square. Yeah. And I'm going to try and focus to see maybe he was wearing his good duds when he went to see the Orthodox Order.
Okay. Okay, well, give me the roll and let's see if the spell works.
Sure. 27, simple success.
Okay, yeah. There's nothing super emotionally intense associated with this pocket square. You get a few brief, vague impressions of him hitting on women wearing this suit, but it's kind of in and out. One funeral that he seemed pretty sad and, was trying very hard to be stoic at. But no, he doesn't wear this, whatever the Orthodox order is, he doesn't wear this to its business.
Okay. Fair enough. Worth a try.
Yeah, he doesn't come back. And at this point, Kelly's like, well, our table's ready. And comes and gets you and is like, where's the Count?
He went to the toilet. Maybe we should check to see if he's okay.
Yeah, he's passed out in there. And Karen not Karen, Kelly just starts fluttering and is, checking him. And she's like, I'm going to dial 911. Is 911 911 in Canada?
Who knows? I mean,
Cloissoné?
can we put him in a taxi? Will he sleep this off? If we get some coffee in him?
This isn't like him. He only had one drink. I think this is something more serious. And she's like peeling up his eyelid and he's like, oh,
Well,
I see visions. I see Mater Moon. She's beautiful. And she's like, this is not okay.
Let's get him in a taxi and we can take him home.
She's like,
Again.
no. We're not just gonna pretend this. No. And she's, getting the bartender to call an ambulance.
Well, healthcare is cheaper up here.
True.
And so she's like, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry that this dinner has gone south like this, but it would be irresponsible of me to just dump him.
Oh no, that makes sense. So you're a good friend.
I guess I am, aren't I? And she puts her purse down as she's, talking on the phone. And yeah, you guys doing anything else in this scene?
Yeah, Chloe wants to use that as a chance to sort of look in her purse if she gets a chance.
Okay. Give me a secrecy roll.
Well.
Secrecy. Oh no. 88, matched fail.
Okay. You reach for her purse and she grabs your wrist. And it's suddenly like she's a different person because all that sort of fluttery, deferential mom energy gets replaced with mama bear energy. She grabs it hard enough that her nails dig into your skin and says, "Don't touch that."
Sorry. I just thought he might get sick and I wanted to move it away, out of the line of fire. Sorry.
And you can
You
tell
let
from
go
her
of my daughter.
and she, takes her hand back. And what you saw, Cloissoné, but Karen didn't, when she grabbed your hand, it was entirely instinctive, and she was terrified for you. She was trying to protect you.
Yeah, she hands up, backs off. It's okay, Mom. It's okay.
All right. So, with all of this information y'all have gathered, what are you doing?
Feel in the head, right?
I feel like we should.
All right.
We've come this far.
Well,
And it doesn't seem like anything's good is going to happen if we leave it in Count Volpo's hands.
The sinister Count Volpo.
So,
yeah,
sure, take your as an
Yeah.
adjective.
he's got something in that purse that's not good.
No, possibly the stuffed.
Did they say why Mansteel and Chirp were not there where they were, or you didn't ask, or I didn't catch that?
No, didn't come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't show up to a preening peacock like Count Volpo and immediately say, "So where's that other man?"
I mean, I did bring it up a little, but he sort of laughed it off. I think it was after my
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, the drugs worked great.
Maybe too
They
late.
did.
I hope they don't do a blood test.
They probably will.
We'll be gone by the time the results do that.
Yeah.
And then-
We just need to move quickly.
It is
It's not like we
Canada.
get-
Healthcare is slow up here.
It's not like we gave them our last names either.
Yeah,
So-
I don't think we're going back to the museum. So
But yeah, just out of curiosity, what do we know about the Comte de Saint-Germain as characters rather than players?
Old myth about undying wizard dude. Some people attach him to this goofy theory that reality is actually a democracy and that he was like the Senate whip who gets all the votes in line and is important during like the elections in which the universe is destroyed and recreated, but the rest of the time kind of just hangs around and straightens up the joint. It's a mess.
yeah, people make up all kinds of reasons to do the things they want to do. If there's anything I know about humans, it's that they're good at making up excuses for shit they want to do anyway.
Now let's steal that head.
Yeah.
Hey!
Okay, let's do it.
Like a security guard and drive a crane.
Yeah.
All right. So give me the roll to set up the fake security guards, Kim.
This is the hacker.
Yeah.
Still the hacking roll. Okay. That's a fail. Not matched, just a fail.
Okay.
And I can't flip flop it because it was 67. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't find any wiggle room here.
Yeah. All right. So the night of, what is Karen doing?
So
Were you going to hide out invisibly on the terrace?
yes, I'm just going to mention I've also got a bag with some changes of clothes in, and in addition to the stuff you've listed, I've visited a sports store and bought some lycra.
Some lycra?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think that's going to do?
If I ever need to be a weightlifter or a strong man, I have the costume for it.
Okay, so you'd have needed to get like the weight belt and the special gloves and different shoes and yeah, but okay.
That's
Yeah,
like an
you can be a
afternoon
weightlifter.
shopping.
Yeah. Which garment are you wearing?
Right, so I'll just be looking a bit like a tourist initially. I've got my Gaiji's cape, which is like an Audrey Hepburn half cape.
Okay.
And in my bag, I have the policeman's outfit.
Okay.
And the lycra, the weightlifters.
Okay, so that's a pretty big satchel.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to be able to bring that into the museum. You might have to have them launch that over the fence to you after the museum closes. Because it's like a duffel. The police uniform, the weight belt's bulky, the police belt's bulky.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, we can toss it over the fence there.
Yeah, okay, sure.
We'll bring the weightlifter uniform. Having the police one on hand is probably good.
But I'll keep, okay, in that case, I'll just have the cap in my pan bag. And I'll obviously be wearing the cape.
Okay. It looks cute. All right, so you're hanging out in the terrace when they start saying, okay, museum's closing. You don't have to stop imbibing culture, but you can't stay here.
Little do they know.
Give me that roll to turn invisible.
22, match success.
All right, you are the knight. So you fade out. One of the guards is kind of standing looking, and another comes up to him and they're, you know, it's French, 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 and they look nervous and unhappy. And, you know, one of them just says, French. And the other, you know, gets out a cigarette, but his hands are shaking a little. French. And then they both go inside, you know, the one goes inside, the other looks moodily out over the St. Lawrence Seaway, finishes his smoke, you know, butts it out, and then goes inside. So you wait. Now, how long are you gonna wait? Because you're gonna turn visible within an hour. It was what,
Isn't it 4 hours? It's like you add the two numbers together.
no, it's minutes equal to roll.
Is it? Oh, I thought it was hours equal to roll.
No. So you got a good 30 minutes of invisibility, during which you can find a conventional hiding spot.
Yeah, you've got a point at the south end of the terrace that isn't super obvious, I think.
Yeah.
Excuse
Or
me.
if there's other sculpture, I'll hide behind other sculpture.
Yeah, you can find a hiding spot. All right, so y'all are waiting. Cloissoné, you show up disguised as a trainee, and the guards there are like, no, we emailed. We put, and, you know, this is all in French. Okay, so give me a straight A student to not betray yourself with your outrageous accent.
All right, 38, success.
Okay, so yeah, you mostly just nod and look puzzled and disappointed, but they're like, yeah, we sent an email. You know, there was, the schedule is all it's all fucked up ever since they fired Jane. The scheduling has just been hot fat bullshit, and I'm sorry that they sent you out, but, you know, they tried to cancel him, then they uncanceled him. He called in, they're like, no, we never canceled him. We didn't even know you were cut. So it's all complain to Renard. You know, Renard needs to be the one who needs to get his head out of his ass about scheduling. And, you know, the other one says something about, you're lucky you're not in here tonight. And that one's like, Jean-Claude, stop it. Just stop it. I think you're enjoying being afraid. And Jean-Claude's like, I'm not enjoying it. Or it was Jean-Pierre. I'm not enjoying it one little bit.
No, come on. I really need this job. Can I just do my training tonight? You two are here and you're experienced.
Give me a roll of connect. And you're gonna need to, like, hit under 20.
Well,
they really do not want to have you in with them.
All right. No.
Now, here's a question. Do you have Kim's gun? Because you would be expected to carry one.
It's there if you want it.
Well, I assumed we would have talked about this ahead of time.
Yeah. I didn't think of it till just now, but yeah, they are armed response. It would look real weird for you to not have the pistol.
The Glock, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
In this case, yeah.
You should have it.
Okay. So they turn you aside from the door and you walk off into the street, sad but strapped. A dangerous combination in an 18-year-old girl abroad. I just feel so blue. I think I'll just cheer myself up by firing my gun in the air. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little late.
So,
all right. So
yeah, she's actually gonna, like, sit down not far outside of the door, and, like, where they might still be able to see her if they walk by, and just put on the sad puppy look.
All right. Are you facing the museum or are you facing out into the street?
Probably to the side, to where like if they look,
Okay.
they can like, catch a facial expression, but not to where she's got her back to everything.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so Karen's hiding. Y'all now you did spoof up an email saying that did you spoof up the email saying that, oh yeah, some dudes are gonna come take the head? Or are you just
Were we still planning on doing that?
or were
I
you
don't
just
think
relying
so.
on distraction?
I think we were relying on distraction, but I'm not 100% on that.
I mean, I could fire it off now, but I
It
probably
would
wouldn't do
look
any good.
it would be,
It's
now
weird.
it would look even more suspicious.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, some dudes are showing up in 15 minutes to take one of the exhibits. Don't investigate.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you guys you've rented the truck under Gerald's name, but with cash.
Weird
And it's
Canadian cash.
By the way, Chloe does text the group and says they won't let me in. The schedule is long. Kim.
We're on a clock. We got to do this.
all right. So as it gets late, you back the truck, and you were going to do it around what, like 1 in the morning?
Yeah.
All right, Karen, give me just one secrecy roll to stay hidden till then. You're muted.
95 failure.
Okay. So you're sitting there trying to adjust yourself and keep your butt from going to sleep, and you see a little movement. And you're like, is one of the guards coming out to the terrace? I thought they just looked through the windows. Boy, if they come out here, I may have to move. And then there's another movement, and it's closer. And then you hear this little laugh. Okay.
On.
All right. Give me that roll to switch it on.
That is a 89, a failure that I can't flip-flop.
Okay. And the creepy little voice gets closer, and peering around at you through the grass is this stained purple stuffed animal with dead button eyes, and it tilts his head at you. Play with Fun Bun.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I'm going to so kick it over the side of the cliff.
All right. Give me that struggle roll.
I get 35, but I think my struggles are base 20. Yeah, that's a fail.
Okay. So you run up, just, get ready to Pele this little son of a bitch, and your foot slips, you fall, you hit your head, you get this horrible sensation from your brain. Luckily, it's on turf. Your head slams back into it, and you have that when your brain slides around on the Duramatter, and you feel a little nauseous and see green, but, you stay conscious, and you look around, and it's gone, like it was never there. Like you were hallucinating the whole thing, except you have this terrible headache and you're lying on your back, all grass stained.
It's all gone Chucky.
It's full Chucky, yes. Your head hurts like a son of a bitch. All right. What you doing next? Gonna text the gang. Oh, by the way, I just got my ass handed to me by a stuffy.
I'll definitely text them, but yeah, we've got incoming. Yeah, someone sent their little golem puppets round.
All right, we're doing this now.
Okay. All right. Karen, how are you going to create a distraction?
All right. Throw me the bag. Over
All
the
right.
wall.
Jesse, someone give me a fitness roll to get it to her.
I am almost as good as fitness as somebody is going to be. So sure, I'll take a shot at it, unless you want it, Kim.
I'm not bad, former Marine, but
Take
I
it.
don't know.
You're the Marine.
It's-
No, you're the Marine. You have opportunities to flip flop this.
Yeah, this is arm based. You got this.
I do. Success.
So yeah, you now have the weightlifter kit.
And the police uniform. All right.
Sans gun.
I don't need a gun. Okay. I nip back to my hiding place so no one could see me.
Mhm.
And I get changed in that careful way that I do, where I'm never fully uncovered.
Mhm. One shirt off, next shirt on, pants off, next pants on. Now change the socks, now the shoes. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Guys, do you want
Which
me to-
outfit are you putting on?
Well, that's the question. Guys, do you want me to just to try and get that head over the wall to you, or do you want me to raise holy hell inside and you guys come
Make
over?
some noise. Your daughter couldn't get in.
Could I spoof the alarms in the exhibit that we wanted to draw them towards?
You'd have to get in there to do it.
Okay.
All right. What you doing, Karen?
All right.
Chloe
Anything-
texts and says, "Do we need a distraction?"
Yeah, do a distraction.
How big?
As big as you like.
Make it big. There's a 50-50 chance that at this point we're just preventing the other cabal from doing anything.
Hi.
Big grin emoji.
I don't know what that means.
It means she's going to shoot the glass out.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Oh
She-
my.
She pulls out the gun and, walks a few feet away and then, tries to remember what Kim's told her in theory and shoots out the front door.
Okay. Just give me a general. You don't have any skill for this, but on the other hand, you're not trying to hit a person or a moving thing or anything that's going to, get back at you. And it's not under super duper pressure. I just want a general idea of what you do.
42.
Okay. Yeah. For a minute you forget. Oh yeah, safety. Oh yeah, chamber around. Okay. Yeah, breathe, aim, slap. Boom, 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 boom. This must be how God would feel if he had a gun.
Yes.
So you have now created a distract. What? And then are you gonna run like?
Yeah, she runs off to where I assume the rest of the group is, where the crane would be.
Yeah, run straight to where the crime's happening. Brilliant. Okay, so you've shot out the front door. Yeah, the guards are all guns out. You hear this, Karen? What are you doing? What are you doing?
All right, weightlifter. I'm going to get that head and I'm going to get it over the wall myself, or to the waiting crane.
Okay,
What?
you got to get it over to where the crane. Yeah, So you guys have gotten the crane down, sort of bucket and strap apparatus down in that,
Yeah.
that lower corner. All right,
Like, arched
give
it
me a roll
around.
to cast the spell.
Oh, yes! Critical success!
All right, you're like, fuck yeah, this feels good. Maybe I'll take up weightlifting for real.
You're heading back to Ohio.
Yeah, you're not even gonna have to roll to pick that up. You just Eddie Hall that shit. You don't even roll it. You carry it like a beer keg.
I am the mountain!
You got the veins
Back to
popping
Paul!
out. Yeah, it is awe-inspiring to see tiny little Karen. Put up the picture of Karen so they can imagine her hoisting a 2-foot diameter granite boulder and hauling it over to where the goes over, puts it in the bucket, and it's like,
somebody's gonna have to elbow Jesse in the ribs to make him start driving. Like sitting there with his jaw dropped.
all right, give me a carny roll to operate the crane.
Yeah, sure. That is a miss by 2 that I cannot flip-flop, but I am a lucky son of a bitch today. So I'm going to re-roll that as per my ritual.
You feel the bad luck dragging down at you.
Yeah, well, nothing drags Jesse down. Let's make that a 28 instead on my second roll, and that's a success.
Okay, yes. So you haul, are you just going to put it on the truck and drive away in the truck, or are you going to transfer it into the van?
We are not taking the time to move it into the van.
Okay.
And Kim's got the van. Kim can drive that away.
How is Karen going to exfiltrate?
Grab the bucket.
Yeah, I grabbed the bottom of the thing, the crane, and hauled myself over.
Okay. Yeah, that's not hard.
Wow.
With your what? Yeah, Karen JPEG.
This was not the plan as we wrote it down. It's just the plan as we're executing it.
Things evolved as they moved. All right, yeah. So
Kim grabbed Chloe.
Okay. Yeah, I think you guys get someone give me a pursuit roll. Jesse specifically.
Yeah, sure, I can do that. Oh shit, that's burglary. That's my thing. Oh shit, that's pursuit. Well, let's see how this goes. That is a 64, which does me no good whatsoever. So that's a miss.
Okay, so you are pulling away in the truck, but this is not. It's not made for quick getaways. Even
No.
Kim's van kind of gets past this thing pretty quick. So,
yeah, and I'm doing this thing where I keep sort of trying to stutter start it, and like I shift gears in this weird rhythm, and it does no good whatsoever because that's not how the ritual works.
yeah, it maybe if you'd pounded those beer caps into the tires, buddy. But
yeah, that seems like a good idea now.
Regrets, I've had a few, mostly about beer cap pounding into tires. All right. So, Karen, are you in the truck with Jesse? Okay.
Yeah.
Kim, you jammed out of there in the van. Cloissoné, you ran to the van or the truck?
The van.
The van. Okay. So the two of you peel out and see, the door to the museum burst open. 2 guards come out and they are, running at the truck. And one of them just pulls his gun out and is yelling, "Arrete, arrete!" And the other jumps up on the flatbed.
Sweet.
Okay. Hands into the bag. Policeman's cap comes on. Fancy hat of authority. Get out of here. This is a Royal Mounted Police operation.
Yeah. Okay. Give me the get out of here roll.
19 success.
Okay. Oh, so he has got to, and the
and that's a 9. That's a level 9 violence check.
Okay.
Brutal.
Well, they either obey or they
take the check. Yeah. He just looks at you and hops off the moving truck and kind of flops over. And the other one runs up to French, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Give me another roll, Jesse.
Sure.
Because you can hear sirens in the distance.
Yep. Oh, that actually made it. That's a 22.
Okay.
Not by a lot. Oh, and it's, yeah.
All right. So with the 22, you are able to reconnoiter with Kim and get the head transferred over using the crane and her
Yep.
weighty stuff, and just ditch the truck and jam the hell out.
Yeah,
and
we-
you get, you're seeing the lights reflected on the the police lights reflected, so you barely have time to wipe everything down before you're out of there. But then that great post heist adrenaline is flowing through you as you drive back to the Airbnb. And as you approach, y'all are pulling in, you're feeling great. You're all in the van, right? And was Angel, where were you while all this was going on?
I was in the truck.
Yeah, we needed Angel.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you're
I
all.
didn't know Karen was going to lift the thing above her head and like pirouette across the terrace with it.
Yeah, I was like, Angel was all ready to help out. He's like, nope, she's got this.
You guys are like, shit, magic is real.
All I have is a bunch of drugs I can't seem to use.
You never
So
drugged.
your
well,
drugs were great.
Your drugs worked great. You never talked to Cipatal.
Also, we're on amphetamines at the moment.
Oh yeah, so
you're
you're all,
kind of hipped up on the happy pill.
Yep.
That's true.
you're all ripped to the tits, and pull in at the Airbnb and see a figure sitting on the porch, cloaked in shadows and wearing a tracksuit with the hood up. And as you get nearer, it raises this metal pipe and starts playing a haunting tune.
Maybe we should
Jethro
leave.
Tull.
What?
Dr. A's nemesis.
Yeah.
What you doing?
We should
Hey,
go.
buddy. I pull out a $20 bill as I hop out of the truck. To get ahead, you have to get ahead. And if you want to get ahead, sometimes you got to show your tail. And I'm kind of thinking that this might be the time when you want to sort of show your tail and walk away from
He's
here.
standing up and walking towards the opposite end of the opposite end of the porch, trying to stay in shadows and stay away from you.
Yeah, and I'm sort of flipping the $20 bill between my fingers. I'm like
Uh-huh.
trying to keep him from getting
Jesse.
room.
Go.
Get him back up the van
Yep.
and put him
Yep.
in the headlights.
Yes, do that.
Okay, yeah. As soon as the headlights come on, he like jumps over the railing of the porch. Give me a notice roll.
All of us?
Just Kim.
Yeah.
Yes.
This
Just bring
is
him to
suspiciously pat. You've been warned about this exact setup in boot camp. The way it works is that one person creates an attractive nuisance by doing something that looks obviously sketchy, and then as everyone focuses in, the sniper at the high point shoots someone to wound, and then while everyone else tries to take care of the wounded person in the honeypot, the sniper can either shoot them to kill, or the rest of the team can close in and complete the objective.
Someone pulled Jesse back in the van.
And you look up to a high point nearby. You're like, it's gonna be that, the crook of that tree on the hill. And sure enough, there's a scoped rifle. What do you guys do? Someone is pointing a scoped rifle at the
He
van.
grabs Jesse and tries to haul him back into the van.
Cloissoné has no idea that this is happening. Only
Oh,
Kim
okay.
sees it.
Gotcha.
Kim absolutely
Well, yell out.
Jesse well enough.
Get back in the van. Now.
Okay. So
All right.
yeah.
I do
The-
exactly what Kim says. I trust Kim.
Okay, so the darkness has gone off into the the shadows up by the side of the Airbnb. You've got the lights sort of pointed towards them. The flute
Also gonna kill
music.
the headlights.
What?
Also going to kill the headlights.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
All right. And you hear Man Steel's voice saying, I got to commend you guys. You did a great job taking out Volpo, but you didn't see all the cards we had in our hand. Now listen, there's two ways this goes down, the easy way and the hard way. Now the easy way is you leave the keys in the van, get out, I get in, drive away, and you all go see what I presume are your wives and children. The hard way's pretty hard, though. And as he says this, you see shapes coming out of the darkness and approaching the van. And they look like lobster. In outline, they're like lobsters or like crickets or grasshoppers, except they are completely matte black and the size of large dogs.
You think we're fucking stupid? There's 10 sticks of dynamite wired to the fucking head. How about you step off?
Give me a lie roll.
3.
Ought 3?
Ought 3.
He's like, no, don't damage the head. You don't know what you're gonna, you don't, all right. And now give me that pursuit to tear ass out of there.
Am I rolling or is whoever's driving rolling?
Who's driving?
I think me, right?
Is it Kim? All
I
right,
think
give
it
that
is. You have
pursuit.
the headlights.
Right?
Yeah, you would have to
Yeah.
be if you turned on the headlights.
Oh, God.
You're in the driver's seat now.
Disabled, enabled.
Don't forget your...
Yes. 21 against a 25.
Nice.
All right, yeah. You guys just you back up, slam on, slalom a little bit, and you can hear the things coming. You can hear the click, 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 click on the pavement, and then you hear scratch, 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 scratch on the sides of the van, and you just like floor it, and you hear scrabbling, and the back of the van is riding real low, and so you can kind of feel it dip a little more as something gets on the bumper, but it can't stay on. And as you pull off onto the highway where the lights are bright, whatever they were, they seem to fade away. Okay. That was good. Y'all escaped with the head.
Holy fuck.
That was nice.
Good work.
High
man.
five.
Nice job.
All right.
That was totally 50-50 too, because I didn't know if blowing up the head was actually an okay outcome for them. But never stop talking.
That was good. All right. Thank you very much. That was a terrific game. And yeah, don't forget to fill out your surveys.
Yeah, thank you all. It was really fun playing with
Yeah,
you.
thank
folks.
you.
was
It was
great.
fantastic.
Can't wait to see who moves on.